All right, hello, my name is Lee Dingus, and I'm with Echoes of the Four Directions, an Indigenous Native American organization. We do a wide variety of things, and one of the things I'm here to talk about and focus on today is about knives, the practicality of knives, the funness of collecting knives, and what I have today is all my purple knives. So many people seem to focus on their collection of more tactical knives, which are usually black or silver or something of that nature. I have some knives that could be considered tactical, but they do have fun color blades. Uh, you should enjoy your knives, and one of the things that I like is to have something that's pretty and looks at, but I also want to have knives that are very practical. And every one of them on the table are that. But I use these knives from going camping to hiking, wilderness. We do wilderness survival skills. We do different types of programs and presentations on edibles, and you name it, we do it. We go into schools and colleges and do presentations. But I make a lot of things, and sometimes I'm using some of these knives while I'm making some of the various things. So I'm not going to go into real big detail on a lot of the knives. You can look them up if you want to. I just kind of want people to see that you can have fun collecting knives, and they don't have to be just tactical. There are a lot of different varieties, but I wanted to focus on purple today. So the first knife I want to share with you is actually a case knife. This case knife is made out of purple bone. You can see the dark purple in the center, and it fades out to a lighter lavender. This is actually called a hobo. And just real quick, the hobo does have two blades. It has a fork and a nice usable cutting blade. But the fun thing about a hobo is when you open it, I always open it from the fork, they come apart. So it's really good for camping, hiking, food preparation, or whatever. You always have both pieces with you. Makes it easier to clean. Fun thing about this hobo is I almost always carry it when I'm camping, particularly wilderness camping. And I had this with me when I was wilderness camping with my husband. And if you don't know it, some of the ladies' pants that we have, some of our pockets are shallower than you'd like them to be. And I had this in my pocket. I'd used it earlier in the day. I had it in my pocket and went to use the facilities, such as is in the wilderness, and I fell out of my pocket and fell into the mud. I did not know it. I didn't use it the rest of that night, and we left the next morning. I didn't use it, went home, and probably a day or two later, when I was emptying my pockets and putting things away and getting ready to do the laundry, I just discovered that my hobo was missing. So I told my husband. We didn't have a chance for about, maybe close to 10 days to go back to where we were camping, which was pretty much about 200 miles away, and figured somebody had either found it by then or it had been long lost. Anyway, we weren't there very long, and he walked around as I was, and he found it partially buried in the mud. Took it home, cleaned it up. There was some light surface rust. I was very excited to have it back, but a true fun story that it was still there. So this is one of the special knives to me. Another case knife, it's also kind of special. It's a really pretty purple smooth bone on it. And I got this knife when we were at Bradford, Pennsylvania, which is where the Case Knife Factory is. And they were having a jamboree, and somebody was selling this at one of the booths that were outside of the Case Knife Factory. And it happened to be the year that I had retired from one of my jobs, and I saw that it had the date, the month, and the year that I retired, so I bought it. It's a trapper. Has a nice solid blade on it. It actually has two blades, if you're familiar with the trappers. Spay blade is the one, and then the other blade. I don't carry this as much. It's really because I just like to look at it and remember, have a memento of when I retired. So it is one of my favorite blades. Another cheaper knife going down the road from the case knives is to one of the easy ones that are out there to find is the Rough Rider series. This is a doctor's knife. It is in purple bone. I kind of have a fondness for doctor's knives, true doctor's knives. It usually has a nice blade that can be used to cut pills or do different things. But a true doctor's knife has a nice spatula blade. You will see some knife blades out there, or excuse me, doctor's knives out there that have two blades. It really truly is not a doctor's knife unless it has a spatula, because they use it to count and move around pills. And they also usually have a nice flat bolster end where they can crush the different things that they're working on, the pills or whatever. But I found this one in Rough Rider, really pretty purple. Very, very happy that I found it. Back to a more expensive knife. This is a French knife, Legault, if I am pronouncing it right. You can see the bull on there. It's made in France. There are many, many different manufacturers that have been around for hundreds of years making their knives. This one is a nice purple. It is not bone. It's a really pretty celluloid. But when I saw that they were offering it in purple, I did jump at the chance to buy it. But the Legault knives are known for their bees on the back. Some people call them flies, but this is actually a bee. Very pretty knife, kind of fun knife to have. Some people call it a quote-unquote gentleman's knife, but it's one of my favorite knives to have. I'm going to go on to some of the Swiss Army knives that I have. Sometimes it's hard to find purple in Swiss Army. You always find the red for sure and the other colors. But I did manage to find a couple more practical Swiss Army knives. Believe this is the soldier, it could be the farmer, not 100% sure. But it's the A-locks type handle material or scale material, depending on what you want to call it. Has nice, the usual can opener, bottle opener, the various screwdrivers. Does have an awl on it. And, of course, the main blade is there. And it does have a saw. Swiss Army knives are known for their saws. And I've used these many times on the other Swiss Army knives that I have. And they really do cut well. So that one's in lavender. I found another one. Same style. It's also a lot darker purple, which is one of my more favorite colors. Just wanted to show you that one. Sometimes the Swiss Army knives, a lot of people dismiss the small ones, but these are great to carry on your keychain for everyday carry, from cutting something really fine to filing your nails to clipping your nails or clipping a little piece of paper or a thread. But they do have it in purple, dark purple. I've carried this many, many times. You can get a little larger Swiss Army knives. That one was Victorinox. These three have all been Victorinox so far. This one's a mini champ, has a few more blades in it. It has a blade for a little spatula blade. You can do star things or whatever it is that you want to do. I think you can also peel oranges with it. The regular blades, 2-blade. Believe this has a package opener on it as well. But again, purple, a little bit bigger, great for everyday carry, putting on your key ring or whatever. This one is a little bit bigger. It's a translucent purple, and it's also the mini champ, but the called Mini Champ Midnight. Does have a light on it, so you can see when you press it, the shield, it does have the light on it. Very nice little everyday carry for all the little handy tools. So they were all Victorinox. I do have a couple Wenger. They're older Wengers. I believe it was before Victorinox took them over. This is a Boy Scout. There was an emblem on it, but it has since wore off since I carry it all the time. But I like this because it has a nice locking blade. You can see this is the lock on it. And it's purple. I believe it's a really rare edition, but when I found it online, I was really excited to have it. I carried that one a lot. In the same line of Wenger is another purple. You can see they're both the same color purple. This one is definitely a much larger one. This is much, much better for camping and chores in the wilderness. This is also locking. It locks on the shield, the main blade, which is a very, very good strong blade. It locks very well. I've also added just a couple extra things because I do carry it a lot. Some fire tinder and a little ferro rod, the firefly or whatever it is that it's called. This too had an emblem on, but I've carried it so much it has worn out, but it was definitely a Boy Scout. So I'm going to go back to some of the more fun knives, maybe. This is a knife that some of you might be familiar with. It's called a Duke. It's kind of hard to see. You can see the little spirit that's on there. I believe they are made in Indonesia. It's just a simple blade that opens up. Kind of hard to open. You can see it's like that. These knives come in very different colors and styles and like that. They're kind of inexpensive, but they're really well made. And some of these knives, when used in some of the other countries, They were well sought after because they would hammer these down and make them a standard knife that you didn't have to close up. But I like the Duke, the Spirit knife that's on there. It's a fun knife to have. Have a Civi banter. This is a baby banter. Usually I'm a little bit better at opening them up, but I like the scale. Civivis are kind of mid-range knives that are fun to have. It's the baby banter. Then I have the Civi banter, both in purple scales. I believe they're G10 scales. Liner lock to close them. Okay, I have a, I'm going to go on to some of my Kershaws. This is the Kershaw Blur, cyst open, has great grips on it, nice color purple. They do come in other colors. This is a really good everyday carry knife. I have the Kershaw Leak. This one does have a lock on it, which the Blur does not. You have to take the lock off. Cyst open as well. A little bit smaller. And now I'm going to have a couple Spiderco. This is the it's a Delica, and it's called the Ladybug. It's kind of small, but it really does some nice fine cutting, very sharp. Spidercos are very good knives. Lock back, good grip on it. It's a little on the small side, so some people might not like it. This one is the Delica, much bigger, great grip, fits your hand well. The traditional Spiderco hole in it for opening. Fun knife. This is an unknown knife. I got this actually at a gun show, an OTF. I liked it because it was purple. Kind of goes off the spring sometime, but it's a fun one to have. Talk about some of the fixed blade ones. This is an Essie, a Zulu. I can see that I wrapped it in purple paracord, but it is a purple knife. It has the Essie little bug on there. Great neck knife. It's a little on the larger side than I'd like it to be, but I did make it into some practical. Have a little bit of flint and steel on there, and I have it wrapped, hung with some paracord. I actually have two of them. This one's just done in a little different purple paracord. It too is still the Essie. I just decided to put a little less on it so it wasn't as bulky for me. They do not make them anymore, but they're pretty great knives for neck knives if you want to carry a neck knife. Another purple knife. This is a good bushcraft tool, so to speak. It's called an M-Tech knife. It does have the purple scales. Does come with a nice nylon sheath. I added the purple and pink paracord to it to carry in case I wanted to wrap it on my belt or something of that nature. Now I want to talk about some of the multi-tools. Sometimes people dismiss multi-tools, but I really am a fan of multi-tools. I have one that's kind of inexpensive. I did get it from Amazon. You can find it on Amazon. I bought it because it was purple. I mainly keep it around the house. It works fine as long as you don't overuse it. I don't know how well some of the tools would hold up, but I did get it because it was purple, so that made me happy. But I am a big fan of Leatherman. I do have a Leatherman purple. It's called a Juice, and it has, this particular one has Sailorman on it, so I'm not sure if it was designed with some of the tools for use in mind for people that have boating or whatever. Carry this one a lot. This is a model that Leatherman no longer makes. They have some other Juices in some other colors, but this one I got because it's purple. Leatherman are one of the best multi-tools you can get, and I can tell you that they stand by their knives. They guarantee them. I've sent one or two back over the years, and they've either repaired them or replaced them with something else. I used to have two Leatherman Juices. I damaged one. I don't remember what the damage was, and I sent it back. And whatever it was that damaged that they couldn't repair it, they either offered to send it back to me, or they offered me a different similar Leatherman knife that was a one-up. And since I already had two, I told them to send me the replacement, which was, it was a nicer knife, and I like it, and I do have it and use it, but I still like the juice. But this is my all-time favorite multi-tool. This is the Wave. I know you all have the different favorite multi-tools that you have, but I've had I actually have 2 Waves myself right now, and this is by far my favorite everyday carry. True story of the Leatherman Wave. I used to work as a product. I checked in products at a store, and I used to carry this for opening boxes, for repairing things in the store or whatever. And I had this on me, and I went to the employee's bathroom, and what happened was the door handle broke, and I couldn't get out, and I tried for good 20 minutes to try to get out. No one heard me. The employee's bathroom was in the back of the store. So I'm trying to figure out what I could do, and I remembered I had my Wave on me, and I took it out. I looked at the door handle. I used one of the screwdrivers that are on there. I do believe it was the Phillips, but I can't remember for sure. Took the screws off the door handle, was able to get out, and then when I told my boss what happened, I was told, oh yeah, the door has been giving people trouble. Why don't you go down to the local hardware store and buy a new handle and put it on, which I did with my Leatherman. But they hold up really well. Such abuse, and they just keep on going. They are really, really a true workhorse for sure. A couple other little small switchblade, which I just got, and I apologize because I don't think I have used it more than once or twice here, and I can't seem to work it today. Thinking it has a lock on it, but I don't know what it is. I'm going to just, it is actually a Cobra Tech, but I can't seem to open it, and I look really stupid right now, but I want to show you that it is there, and it is purple. Going on to some of the other purple knives. I have another knife that I kind of partially made. I bought the blank by myself. It was already made. You just had to sharpen it. I put some giraffe purple bone on it, and it's a boot knife. Occasionally carry it, but not that much. Here's another good cheap knife, Opinel. I believe this is a number 7. Does have the lock on it where you twist it. Bought it because it was purple. I'm not a huge fan of Opinel. They are good knives. They do hold up, and people do like them because they are cheap. But I wanted to show you that they do make it in purple. This is an older knife. It's a buck knife. I liked it because it had the carabiner. You can put a carabiner on it and hang it on your pack. Half serrated and straight edge. Liner lock. Pretty good knife. Actually have another, it's kind of a, some people wouldn't consider it a knife. It's a box opener, but I bought it because it was purple. Holds up really well. It is a leftover from the same job that I used the Wave at. Easy change blades. One of the other things I wanted to point out is a little lesser known thing that people don't know about knives is called knife openers, nail neck openers. They go back a really long time, and I actually found 2 purple ones at I believe it was a gun show. If you don't know what knife openers are, nail neck knife openers are, is a long time ago, either the salespeople that sold the knives or the people that were working in the factory. If you can imagine hundreds and hundreds of times a day, whether you were trying to sell your product or if you were working on it in the factory and trying to adjust it using your fingernail day in and day out to open the knives, you would break your fingernail, would start to hurt. So a lot of they either made them outright for the salespeople to take with them so they could open the knives, or the factory workers took scrap knife pieces left over, put some handle material on them, and they were able to use them. So there is a small market of collecting knife openers, or nail neck knife openers, whatever you want to call them. Maybe a few other names out there for that. I do have quite a collection of them. These are the only 2 that I have are purple. Some of the bigger known ones that make them are Case, Remington, can't remember some of the other ones, but you can find them out there. They're not real well known. If you go to a knife show or a gun show, you're lucky if you're going to find one or two people that may even have. Great Eastern Cutlery have a few that are out there, and I think maybe Boker as well. So that's kind of a fun, different thing. People don't know about it. I always, when some of the knives I used to carry a long time ago, I really did have difficulty opening them, and that kind of was one of the reasons why I got interested in actually having them. So just a couple other fun things that are on the table that are purple. I use a lot of different purple carabiners, put some of the knives on to carry them, whether it's on my pack or on my belt or anything of that nature. Collected a few different little purple keychains that people have given me over the years. Purple whistles, a little purple tube that has survival and fishing gear in. And the last thing, a lot of people don't think that they would consider a knife, and I know this doesn't look much purple on the camera, I'm sure, but this is a card, a Victorinox Swiss card. Has a little pair of tweezers, and it's the size of a credit card, sort of sold for carrying it in your wallet, although I don't know how well the plastic would hold up. It does have a little blade in it. You can kind of see the purple in this a little bit more. So it does have a small blade that you can use. It has the scissors, has a file, tweezers, pen, the standard things. But they are kind of a nice thing to have. Has a scale on the back if you just, especially if you maybe, they may possibly let you on the airlines on that. I'm not really sure, but that's kind of a small thing to have, and it was purple. So that's pretty much my purple knife collection. I do have a lot of other knives, but I just wanted to share with you my Purple Passion knife collection. And that would be about it for the day. Thank you.